Hello and welcome to the first episode of this TEW 2020 series on the channel. Sorry it's been a while, just haven't got around to making any TEW content in a while, so I thought with Impact sort of regaining some momentum at the start of August, which is where this save will start, after Slammiversary where they picked up some big names and put on a very good show for themselves. This is a Real World Chronicles save. So I will show you our roster quickly. So they obviously have, guys who were already in the company beforehand: Ace Austin, the returning Motor City Machine Guns, who will start off the save as champions. Obviously they got Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson as well, along with other names like Heath. Unfortunately, Eddie Edwards is not as over as I maybe would like him to be. The most over guy in the company is, of course, Rob Van Dam, which I think does make sense in the end. Obviously, with him being maybe the most well-known around wrestling. We did have a little issue. I don't know if it's a database issue or just with my game, but I had to change our product because we used to be Absurdist Sports Entertainment, but whenever I went into the save, it was telling me I had 0% matches and 100% angles to run. So I was getting penalized for running wrestling matches on my wrestling show. And no matter what I done, every time with Absurdist it was doing that to me. So I thought instead of waiting the year to change to Classic Sports Entertainment, I would just change it in the database before the save. So hopefully that's okay with you guys, but it didn't really make sense to be penalized for running wrestling on my wrestling show. In terms of our champions, they don't seem to have Moose's white belt in this. And of course it's not really a TNA title. They didn't really treat it like one except for him, I guess, with his what seems like a delusional heel gimmick. I'm not totally caught up on TNA, but that's what I've been getting from the episodes I've seen so far. But we do have Deonna Purrazzo, our women's champion, or Knockouts. Eddie Edwards, the champion, which I think we might keep it on him for a while. I think with all these stars coming in, it might be good to hold the belt on Eddie and let him sort of be Mr. Impact for a while. And I'm not promising he'll have a 6-month run or something, but he's not going to drop it super soon. Not like they did in real life. I think he just dropped it to Eric Young. Motor City Machine Guns are our tag team champions. I maybe would have had them. Maybe it would have been riskier, but I might have had the North cheek to beat them on TV. And then on pay-per-view, you have the Guns win. But I'm happy with the Guns as champion. They're a fantastic tag team. One of the main reasons I think people are, put eyes back on Impact after Slammiversary was partly them coming in. The X Division champion is Chris Bay. I know he's lost in real life to Rohit Roju, but I'm not super familiar with him. Not really super familiar with either man, but I think I'm going to give Chris Bay a bit more of a run compared to what TNA did. And that's back in titles. Storylines will be running Eddie Edwards versus Eric Young, like the company did in real life. Deonna Purrazzo and Jordan Grace obviously faced off in real life, but at Slammiversary, I believe Kylie Ray won a #1 contenders match, so I'm going to hold off on her title match, probably to the pay-per-view, which the pay-per-view is actually Emergence, that but TNA ran it, or Impact ran it as a special, like a TV special, but I'm going to use it as a pay-per-view just instead. We will also have the North versus the Motor City Machine Guns, the Good Brothers versus Austin and Fulton. We're going to go Willie Mack versus Chris Bay instead of doing the triple threat. And we'll have Heath for Impact versus Heath getting into Impact, and then EC3 Moose. I think Impact technically ran, or are running, an RVD Sami Callihan feud at the minute, which we might also add, but 8 storylines is quite a lot for what I believe is an hour and a half of television. Oh no, we've got 2 hours of television, so maybe. But we will see. Our size is small. There are 32s everywhere but the southeast. And for us to grow, we have to get 59 in the southeast and 35 in either Great Lakes, Mid-Atlantic, or Mid-South, which that part should be easy. It'll be getting the extra 15 here. That will be more difficult. And last thing that I'm going to show you is probably the company wars, which we find here. Yeah, well, we are the 5th biggest company. behind the likes of obviously WWE, New Japan, AEW, and NXT. So the goal will sort of be to maybe close the gap between us and the likes of NXT and AEW. That will probably be all for this episode, guys. If there's anybody you would like me to pick up for Impact Wrestling, preferably the idea, I think, for the save will not be to just become AEW Light or WWE Light. I would like to keep some of the talent that we currently have and try and mold them in. The goals will, yes, we will take some talents, and I think there's a difference between taking like a, signing Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins if their contract comes up, and signing Cedric Alexander or someone like that who's maybe not being utilized on their roster. I think there's a difference between taking a WWE mid-carder or lower mid-carder and bringing them in and building them up, than just taking one of WWE's or AEW's main eventers and just slotting them into your main event, which sort of defeats the purpose of starting with Impact Wrestling. So that would be one of our goals, try and make our own stars, try and build around the main event, and pick maybe some side projects, guys who are not on TV as much, guys maybe like or maybe not on TV but not as popular, guys like the Rascals. They've been pushing Trey a bit recently. Maybe people like Caddy Ray, who I believe is very low in popularity. Pushing those sort of people and getting them up the roster and useful sort of on TV. Maybe someone like a Daga. And if there's anybody you want me to sign, or if there's anything you want me to show you, things that I haven't shown you in this episode, leave a comment below. Thank you all for watching.